Hey Zalivers, this is SuperZomGBBQ, and today I have a cold, which means my voice is probably going to be lower than usual. It's probably going to crack up. If I have head farts, I really apologize. And also if I have a slight, strand of snot come down my nose. I'm joking, it's not that bad, but just bear with me today, okay? Today's upload is actually going to be talking about Last Man Standing, because it's coming up as this week's event, as so we're told. It might not be, it might be Road to Glory this week, but the likelihood is it is a 3-week event rotation. You have Last Man Standing, Road to Glory, Ring Domination. And this week, it should be Last Man Standing. We have learned a lot from Last Man Standing from the last event, obviously being the first one. I've titled this video, The Problem with Last Man Standing, and it may just be that this game mode is too good for the game in its current state. But we're going to talk about that in just a moment. If you like what you see in this upload, please remember to smash that like button. It would be a massive help to me. Share it on with your friends, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on as we get right into the problem with Last Man Standing. We're going to get ourselves some Team Road to Glory rewards now. The new team absolutely smashed it. We took our time with this one because Elias isn't a pro for many of us. So just a quick breakdown of points. Gaddy absolutely freaking smashed it. Wiley, Lars, Causa, no point mentioning everyone. You can see all their names there. Basically, we all smashed it. I came in second from last because I was kicking ass with Thanos today.
Destiny still arrives.
Infinity Gauntlet! Oh, this is... Okay, kid. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Oh, baby. And up we go. And you are also very dead. Yeah, you're very, very, very dead. Mate, it's so much fun. Anyway, Elias, we gotta claim him. We gotta drift away. Or are we gonna walk with Elias? Because he has joined our deck. He's actually a third Elias, so it's not a pro. But it is something that's gonna be useful. I think for me, it's gonna be fusion food. But hey, you're not gonna complain about an extra WrestleMania 34 card. In this, we're gonna start off with why there is a problem with Last Man Standing. And we're gonna start off by going through a couple of points, and I'm gonna explain my reasoning behind those points. First of all, starting off with this game mode's rewards, these overpowered cards. Now I'm going to show you my third place Triple H for no other reason other than the fact that this is almost to the extent of how high the stats on these cards go. 282,000 compared to the heroic pros of Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles. These cards are absolutely ludicrously overpowered. So you're probably thinking to yourself, whoa, but why is this a problem? Why could this be an issue going forward? Well, it is what players have been asking for. They want to be rewarded for the time and the money they're putting into the game, which Last Man Standing duly does. However, yes, they asked for that, but also maybe not to this extent. Players have been asking for better cards, but this maybe is going to too many players. And this is why it's potentially an issue. Already in the latest event, less people went for the event Jeff Hardy card. There's less people who went for the heroic card. A lot less people went for the event card in general. Some people took 2 weeks off, including a couple of people who were YouTube content creators. They literally took a week, 2 weeks off the game because... But why go for a Jeff Hardy card when you can get a Triple H that's this good? Getting at the top 30,000, which Triple H was limited to 1 to 30,000, you would get a card that was better than a standard event card, quite considerably so. If an overpowered card is going to be released in 1 week, with little time required, why play hundreds of games to obtain a card that takes 2 weeks to obtain? Then pro, then grab another overpowered card the next time Last Man Standing's on, especially if it's going to be every 3 weeks. It does make the prospect of playing Road to Glory already a slog even less entertaining and desirable to do. Which means, there is a positive to this, and I will say, there's a huge positive to this. And this is one of the biggest things SuperCard, I'd say hardcores, loyal players have been asking for quite some time, and that's a bit of breathing space. And sometimes players just want a break. They don't want to just keep playing the same thing over and over and over again. And a game is better with competition. So other games like Fortnite, for example, you've got the WWE games on console, you've got plenty of other games you can talk about. Last Man Standing allows people to skip events or maybe get themselves half heroics or just a normal event card, because there's no real push. They don't have to go the whole distance to get yourself these amazing cards when you can just wait a couple of weeks and go absolutely crazy in this new game mode. And allows more players to simply step back from regular events and await a far more overpowered card instead of worrying about an extra filler card for their Road to Glory deck. Which comes to the next point, the long wait. For those of you who have been playing SuperCard since Season 1 to Season 4, or to be honest with you, most games in fairness, will know that during some parts of the game, it's a little bit stagnant. There's not so much awesome new stuff coming out. And in the last 2 years, the same has been with WWE SuperCard, especially during WrestleMania tier. WrestleMania tier goes on the longest compared to any other tier. WrestleMania Season 2 to SummerSlam, WrestleMania 33 to SummerSlam. And the likelihood is this year is going to be no different. But having 3 events now in a cycle does mean by the time that we do get SummerSlam, or whatever the next tier is going to be, which is likely to be another SummerSlam tier, which is mid-August, that's going to include another 9 event cards on top of the ones we've already got already. We've already got 4, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, and Triple H. This doesn't even factor into account any flash events or special events they decide to bring up, but that's a total of 13 minimum event cards, unless they release SummerSlam tier way before, like they did with WrestleMania 34 and WrestleMania 33 tier. Meaning that without another Fusion Fury, someone who plays every event will have a really crazily overpowered deck. They will have a full Road to Glory deck with all event cards, which obviously, for some of the hardcore players, is ideal because they start the next tier off with a massive advantage, especially in game modes like Road to Glory and Ring Domination. But realistically speaking, that advantage doesn't last long. After about 2 or 3 events, you already are losing some of that advantage. And for some people, that wait may just be too long. You know, they prefer something like a Money in the Bank tier or something to slide in the middle. So there's not so much of a wait to get your hands on something brand new. And for those 2 points alone, that actually causes another potential problem, and that is declining interest in special cards. So you've got yourself all these amazing event cards. Just imagine this deck in front of you is full of event cards, full of all female pros. You've got yourself all these awesome cards. But if you've got all these event cards, why do you need to pay any attention to some of the special events they do? When I'm talking about special events, I'm talking, of course, about Fusion Fury, Spring Fusions, the Fusions themselves, the Hall of Fame, the throwbacks. Why would someone pay interest to those if they've already got a full deck that doesn't actually require that? Now, of course, I'm talking purely as a regular seasoned veteran of the game who gets every single event card because, 1, YouTube, and B, because I still enjoy the game. You know, every single time you're getting one of these event cards, your interest in those other cards that are slightly less powerful, such as Money in the Bank as well, gradually declines. You gradually see less and less interest in those events. And all honestly speaking, this is my own personal opinion, of course, and you know, most of this is, so take it with a pinch of salt, but it seems to me as in Last Man Standing has kind of killed off the importance of Money in the Bank for all but 3 players. But it does stop other collections being anywhere near as important in the future as well. Money in the Bank now, realistically speaking, is used for the initial beginning of a tier, especially with the card stats not being anywhere near the heroic cards, or for females when the female cards come out, which we were expecting to be Money in the Bank. Moving on to the next point though, and that is it ultimately makes packs pointless, and this is talking about reaching level 100. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out. I have a video about Platinum Plus packs, these little nuggets of glory that are inside this month's login bonus. Now, of course, these aren't all amazing because, you know, you get an elite to WrestleMania 34, but the likelihood of you getting an elite and getting something above that is very, you know, you're more likely to get something from a beast upwards than you are an elite card, unless you're really unlucky. It makes packs pretty pointless to get because it's, you know, it's a huge if in future tiers. Why would you spend 5,000 plus credits, which is already a large amount of money on a pack, when you could simply grind out to get to level 100 using 10, 15,000 credits, and then literally get packs that are better odds at some point, sometimes, than the packs you would actually buy from the store? It kind of makes zero sense. Why would you spend money when you can get all, you know, just as playing the game itself? Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone, that's important to mention, but those lucky enough to reach level 100 every 3 weeks will be given a bounty of awesome rewards and lots of, well, packs that are going to give you supports, enhancements, and everything else. I remember having to delete enhancements last time, and I had to Silver Star WrestleMania 34 cards because I just didn't need the pros that was being given to me. It was just... it was honestly, I know for some people that's a massive, you know, a massive thing. They're going to get loads of awesome cards. But for others who have bought packs, they're going to feel like, well, why do I do this next time when I can just wait for SummerSlam 17 or 18 tier, whatever it's going to be, wait until they get the next Last Man Standing event and just grab loads of WrestleMania cards and SummerSlam cards from there. The biggest thing it affects is actually the chance packs. Now these things, the SmackDown Shake-Up, the Backlash pack that was just recently available, the Raw Shake-Up, all these packs that have got a chance of WrestleMania 34. We actually got a pack opening for the SmackDown Live and the Raw Shake-Up packs coming in the next couple of days. But those are really affected because these become effectively useless, because why pay for it when you can just get yourself all the way up to the Last Man Standing and just get yourself as many rewards as you want. And my last point on the problem with Last Man Standing is numbers and Season 5 and beyond. Well, another big question is what happens next. You know, it's a big question. I have it in my streams a lot. What happens with Season 5? What happens with the next SuperCard? When it comes out in November, August, whatever it's going to be. We don't know. We won't know until near enough September, October time. It's way too soon to discuss that. What happens with stats going forward? Because SummerSlam 18 tier with these incredibly ludicrous heroic, or not heroic, but the Last Man Standing cards at the top are going to need to be in excess of 300,000 for stat points at minimum. And that's just the base standard cards to make sure they beat these very, very high powered Last Man Standing cards. Most of the time, tiers don't cross with numbers unless you get compatible tags. So the likelihood is very simple, and that is that you are going to have a very, very overpowered tier. And in fact, you're probably looking at Last Man Standing in SummerSlam 18, maybe the heroic cards going as high as 350, 60, or even as high as 400,000 stats for the best cards with their momentum slots on. And the numbers just keep going up and up and up. And that's just a crazy number, and that's just going to make it, I don't know, I have to be honest, it does make it slightly daunting as a new player coming into the game. Already, you've got to get yourself these, you know, free packs help, obviously, and, you know, the additional free credits that are coming into the game, etc. help, such as the Cinco de Mayo pack and other benefits as well. So plus you get the, every so often, 100% extra on your credits if you don't spend money on the game. But you got to already get yourself from common tier, or say common tier, rare tier, all the way up to WrestleMania 34. Then you got to get yourself to SummerSlam 17 or 18, whatever it is. You got to keep getting yourself up to the next tier, the next tier, the next tier. Whilst it's quite impressive to see, there's going to be people who are going to be sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, I've got to go up from 1,000 to 400,000. How the hell am I going to get up there? It's a bit daunting. Plus, you bring in more tiers for Season 5 and etc. And then the numbers simply just go out of control within the next game cycle. We could be seeing the first million point stat. I mean, just gotta imagine you're gonna be looking at like millions and millions of points soon. So that's all my points about the problem with Last Man Standing. But the important note here is that usually there is no smoke without fire when it comes to WWE SuperCard, especially when something is released. There is a reason for it. So the fact that we got such high level cards means that there's very likely chance that there's going to be something else in the future that's going to be even better than it. Whether Last Man Standing is a test for a new season of the game, there will be a new SuperCard. Maybe they'll completely reset everything back to square one in the future. Maybe it's a long-awaited reset, something that's been anticipated for a while. Cat Daddy might just have more tricks up their sleeve than we know, and the likelihood is they've been planning this for months, if not a year or so. But now, however, we should just embrace it. I mean, there's positives to this. You know, you can kick your feet up if you've got a full King of the Ring deck and sit back and think to yourself, you know what, I don't need to go for this next event card unless I really want, you know, I don't know, Nia Jax or Braun Strowman or whatever card comes up, Seth Rollins or Bobby Lashley. You know, unless you really want that, you don't have to go for it. You know, you don't have to. It's no longer a requirement to get yourself the best cards in the game every single week with Last Man Standing, unless of course something else comes along. The way I see it is that right now it's a positive, but in the future this could be a big negative. And I think the biggest point is I really like the idea of the Hall of Fame and throwback cards, and I think this could really take the interest off of those quite quickly, especially if there's no way of obtaining them outside buying packs. Anyway, that's been it from me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below about this topic. Make sure you like this video as hard as you possibly can. Be amazing for me, and make sure you subscribe to the channel whilst you're there with the biggest elbow off the top rope you possibly can, and turn your notifications on whilst you're there so you don't miss a single video as we are on the way to 200k. Until next time though, I've been SuperZombGBBQ. You have been awesome. One last thing, and that is to...
Somebody sound the alarm.